Hey there. So it comes down to a Monday. It's Memorial Day, so a little bit of a 3-day weekend over here, which is pretty nice. You know, it's always nice to get a little bit of a refresher, and it's always nice to have a free day that doesn't take up your vacation day, so to speak. So recently I've been reading a book for book club. It's called Daring to Lead. I think that's the title of the book, but pretty much it's a leadership book that I imagine that kind of touches upon what kind of brings about great leadership. And it's a very data driven, lots of studies kind of involved with the writing of the book, so hopefully pretty useful. But pretty much the main thing I wanted to talk about was just one thing that kind of struck me throughout the book. And it's really kind of the topic of rumbling, which is a concept of pretty much sharing important information in terms of discussing things that are important and difficult questions that you need to ask about a certain team. And this could be hugely beneficial, right, for a team, because you definitely want people to feel enabled to kind of share problems that they think that the team is facing, because if those aren't addressed, that can kind of snowball into itself and become a huge problem down the line. So it's important to have rumble on a regular basis. So this was kind of like the setting for it, but really they talked about one point which I thought was incredible, which was pretty much a topic of loneliness. I think that was a particular example that they wanted to display, but I guess it also kind of buds into a growing problem within organizations throughout. But I think I just wanted to approach it from a couple of different angles, because I think just the subject of loneliness is something that kind of resonates with me a little bit. I don't know about like on a personal basis. I don't know if I'm a lonely person. Am I a lonely person? I don't know. But I think for some reason I do have the impression that young men often feel lonely. I don't know why this isn't the case, but I think based on kind of what I've read in social media, they kind of make the juxtaposition between young men and young women, and there is the idea that women have more social structure in terms of society and the social support that they'll need to kind of go through without being lonely. But this is not the same for men, apparently. But I think skipping over that, whether you can agree or not that men or women are lonely, I do feel like I know a lot of people who are lonely, who are young men, from my experience. And it's kind of a tough situation, right? I think a lot of people don't necessarily talk about how they're lonely in a sense, and I don't know how to kind of improve on that. Um, I think this is just speculation on my part, but I think actually something good about religious organizations is that they kind of build a sense of camaraderie, and they kind of teach you how to think in terms of connecting with people and how to feel about the world. You can think of it as some kind of like spiritual education, which I guess that's kind of the case with religious organizations. I don't know if being spiritual is necessarily the goal here, but I think what I feel is kind of missing here is that people are not educated emotionally and don't necessarily know how to build and connect with other people in the way that you necessarily need to survive and not feel lonely. And I think this comes in part because really there's a lot of growing number of people who are atheists. Pretty much non-religious persons are growing in terms of population size and percentage over the recent times, and this is kind of like a gap that's missing, right? People are not necessarily getting that kind of spiritual and moral driven education that normally comes with like congregating in religious organizations. So I don't know what a solution would be. Obviously, I think it'll be kind of valuable to have that emotional EQ kind of education, because it can be hugely valuable. And unfortunately, feeling lonely is not something that I feel like people should feel all the time. And really, people should definitely be educated on how to approach them. So I think it'll be kind of interesting. Maybe non-religious people should have congregations as well to kind of go into how to feel about the world, kind of morals, talk about how to connect with each other and how they feel on an emotional level, because that's definitely something that's missing from what we have today, I would say, for the non-religious. But yes, that's all I have for today. I think it's definitely an interesting question that I'll definitely explore more in my own thoughts now and then, I guess. But yeah, that's all I have for now, and I'll see you later. Bye. Oh my, it is some another lunch. Oh, this one looks good actually. It's mushrooms, tomatoes, and a little bit of coriander with some pork belly over some noodles. Look at that. Nom nom.